Samuel died, and all Israel gathered, lamented him. They buried him in his house in Ramah, and David arose and went down to the desert of Paran. There was a man in Maon whose possessions were in Carmel, and the man was very great, and he had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats, and he was while shearing his sheep in Carmel. The man's name was Nabal, and his wife's name was Abigail. And the woman was of good sense and of beautiful form, but the man was hard and of evil deeds, and he was a Calebite. David heard in the desert that Nabal was shearing his sheep. David sent 10 youths, and David said to the youths, "Go up to Carmel, and you shall come to Nabal. Greet him in my name. You shall say, so shall you be living next year, and may peace be to you, and peace to your household, and peace to all that is yours. Now I have heard that they are shearing for you. Now your shepherds were with us. We did not disgrace them, neither was anything missing to them all the time they were in Carmel. Ask your youths, and they will tell you, and may the youths find favor in your eyes. For we have come on a festive day. Give now what your hand will find for your servants and for your son David." David's youths came and spoke to Nabal according to all these words and David's name, and they rested. And Nabal answered David's servants and said, "Who is David, and who is the son of Jesse? Nowadays there are many slaves who break away, each one from his master. Now shall I take my bread and my water and my meal, which I have cooked for my shearers? Shall I give them to people of whom I know not whence they are?" David's youths turned around in their way, and returned and came and told him according to all these words. David said to his men, "Gird each man his sword," and they girded each man his sword. And David too girded his sword, and they went up after David, about 400 men, and 200 stayed with the luggage. And one youth of the youths told Abigail, the wife of Nabal, saying, "Behold, David sent messengers from the desert to greet our master, and he drove them away. And the men are very good to us, and we were not disgraced, nor was anything missing to us all the time we went with them when we were in the field. They were a wall over us both night and day, all the time we were with them, pasturing the sheep. And now know and see what you will do, for the evil has been decided upon against our master and against all of his household, and he is such a base person that one cannot speak to him." And Abigail hastened, and she took 200 loaves and 2 earthenware jugs of wine, and 5 prepared sheep, and 5 seah of flour of roasted ears of grain, and 100 clusters of raisins, and 200 cakes of figs, and she placed them on the donkeys. She said to her youths, "Go on ahead of me, behold, I am coming after you." And she did not tell her husband Nabal. And it was that she was riding on the donkey and coming down under cover of the mountain. Behold, David and his men were coming down toward her, and she met them. David said, "Surely in vain have I watched all this fellow has in the desert, so that nothing was missing of all that is his. He has returned me evil for good. So shall God do to David's enemies, and so shall he continue if I leave over of all that he has by the morning light, even one dog." Abigail saw David, and she hastened and leaned off the donkey, and she fell on her face before David and prostrated herself on the ground. She fell at his feet and said, "In me alone, my lord, in the iniquity. Now let your handmaid speak into your ears, and hearken to the words of your handmaid. Let not my lord take heed of this base fellow of Nabal, for like his name, so is he. Nabal is his name, and ungratefulness is with him, and I, your handmaid, did not See my Lord's youths whom you sent. And now my Lord, as the Lord lives, and by your life I swear, that the Lord has withheld you from coming to bloodshed, and from saving yourself with your hand. And now may your enemies and those who seek evil to my Lord be as Nabal. And now this gift which your handmaid has brought to my Lord shall be given to the youths who walk at my Lord's feet. Forgive now your handmaid's transgression, for the Lord shall make for my Lord a sure house. For my Lord fights the wars of the Lord. And let no evil be found in you all your days. And a man is arisen to pursue you and to seek your soul. For my Lord's soul shall be bound in the bundle of life with the Lord your God, while the soul of your enemies the Lord will sling it with the hollow of the sling. And it will be when the Lord will do to my Lord according to all the good which he spoke concerning you, and he will appoint you as a ruler over Israel. Let this not be to you as a stumbling block and a remorse of heart to my Lord, and that you have shed blood without cause, or that my Lord has avenged himself. And when the Lord will do good to my Lord, you shall remember your maidservant. David said to Abigail, Blessed is the Lord God of Israel, who has sent you towards me on this day. Blessed is your advice, and blessed be you who have restrained me this day from coming into bloodshed, and from avenging myself with my own hand. And indeed, as the Lord God of Israel lives, who has restrained me from harming you, I swear that had you not hastened and come toward me, there would not have been left to Nabal until daybreak even one dog. David took from her hand that which she had brought him, and he said to her, Go up in peace to your house. See that I have hearkened to your voice and have shown you favor. Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he had a feast in his house, like the feast of the king, and Nabal's heart was merry within him. He was very drunk, and she did not tell him anything less or more until daybreak. And it was in the morning, when the wine had left Nabal, that his wife told him these things, and his heart died within him. He became like stone. And it was just 10 days after that the Lord inflicted a stroke on Nabal, and he died. David heard that Nabal had died, and he said, Blessed is the Lord who has judged the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and restrained his bondsman from evil, and returned Nabal's evil upon his own head. David sent and spoke concerning Abigail to take her to him for a wife. David's servants came to Abigail to Carmel and spoke to her, saying, David has sent us to you to take you to him for a wife. She arose and prostrated herself upon her face to the ground and said, Behold, your bondswoman is a slave to wash the feet of my Lord's servants. She hastened and mounted the donkey with her 5 maidens who went with her, and she went after David's messengers and became his wife. David took Ahinoam from Jezreel, and they both became his wives. And Saul had given his daughter Michal, wife of David, to Palti the son of Laish, who was from Galim.